Marry more than one wife to reduce prostitution and get rewarded, Imo Commissioner for Happiness. The Imo State Commissioner for Happiness has made a complicated statement. She advised men to marry more than one wife so as to curb the rate of prostitution in the state. Imo State is ranking number for prostitution in the southeast, and this is not a good omen. Speaking in Owerri, state's capital this morning, Commissioner Ogechi said Imo State has more women than men, forcing a lot of unmarried women to commit adultery with other people's husbands. The commissioner said, according to statistics, out of approximately 3.9 Imo State indigents, 3 million are women. In her words, she said, I am not forcing you, but encouraging you to marry two or more wives to reduce on women staying without husbands. Commissioner Ogechi told a conference of about 14,000 men who were receiving training in various life skills in the commercial capital. Our women are crying every day due to lack of men and marry and support them economically, hence they engage in prostitution. So please try to work hard and be productive so that you can help our women by marrying two or more wives, provided you are able to provide for their basic needs, she pleaded. As a government, we shall be giving some small incentives to such men, provided you don't abuse your wives. Her point was very good and nice, but it goes against most people's faith and belief. And that is very true. A lot of people would not want to do that because a lot of people want to be possessive and be overprotective and have one partner, because some people get jealous easily and they don't want to have their husbands having more than an extra wife. That just creates more conflict. However, you'd have to say that the government does not have to resort to this alone on marriage. Like, you don't, to me, it doesn't make sense. If you want to, let's say, reduce the rate of prostitution in the state, it might be that you would have to create more jobs, create jobs that, would bring people out of poverty and obviously bring people out of, desperate measures, because obviously it might not be what women, or it might not be what someone favored to do, but obviously if they have responsibility, they have kids, they have people depending on them, sometimes you need to survive, and it might mean that your morals or whatever would have to go out the window, so they might resort to those kind of things. At the end of the day, for the state to actually benefit off this, they need to create more jobs. In turn, it would make the economy of the state even better, which will add to the economy of the country, which would economically make the country better in itself. And there's no excuse for you being an unmarried person to be in a relationship with a married man. That doesn't make sense. Why are you going to another person's marriage? Like, Imo State is not the only state in Nigeria. You need to widen your perspective or widen your reach if you want to date other people. Like, you can't just limit yourself to Imo State only. You can go out. You don't box yourself just because, I don't know, you can't box yourself if they're not enough of the target market in Imo State. These are a lot of people have a lot of comments to say about this, and let's see what they say. Somebody said, just tell your people to reduce their daughter's bride price to enable other tribes like Efik, Ibibio, Ikwere, etc. to come in. With reducing bride price, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people say that the bride price is a symbolism, is used as a symbol for the culture and tradition. But at the end of the day, if you start increasing bride price and try to benefit of the culture itself, you're not putting a price on women, and then you can't this then leads to women being objectified and being worth by the amount of prices that they're being, quote, married for, because then you'd hear statements like, you're my wife, I paid your bride price. It doesn't make sense. Because of that objectification and people saying statements like that, it makes it seem as though her price shows her worth, and that you don't put someone's price on how much money you want to marry them for. And someone says, let's start from your husband. I'm going to give him my two sisters. Remember to practice what you preach. Will she want that? And then somebody says, Madam, how many wives your own husband get? Una fit allow him to take second wife. And the thing is, if you're a married man, and why are you going out of your marriage to commit adultery? That doesn't make sense. Like, except if you people have planned that, okay, fine, this is what we're going to do, and she's consenting to it, it's your problem. But then it's like, if it's not consented by your wife, why are you going to do that? I mean, people have different ways of marriages and like their culture or whatever, but it's like, at your big age, you're a grown man, you married someone with your chest and you're cheating, you need to grow up and you need to be ashamed of yourself, because that's just not It doesn't work. Another person says, very good advice. One man, one woman, one wife is unrealistic, unnatural, untraditional, uncustomary, and unreligious. It is an import of colonialism. Wow, this is an interesting point. Do you guys really think that? Do you guys really think that before colonialism, this was how it was normally meant to be, and women didn't have a problem with it? Another person says, I hope your husband, if you're married, will appreciate that and make you a happier co-wife. Somebody says, please reduce cost of your marriage and men will come marrying to them. Again, with this thing of cost and price, it might not be that it might not be that it will have to do with your bride price, but sometimes people spend ridiculous amounts of money for the wedding only, which is like, why are you spending that much and then a year after you break up? And it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're done 10, 20, 30 years, you can do an elaborate wedding, like grand gesture, to show you spend so much time married to this person, rather than you're entering into a marriage with so much money spent that you could actually invest into your future. Another person says, these girls are waiting for white elephant marriage while the family members wish to sell them out with a big price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the government. It comes out to the standard of living and the economy of the country. If the economy is good and the standard of living is high, people are earning good jobs, they're comfortable, poverty eradication is like at its low point, then people might not have to benefit from the bride price from culture to be able to be asking for exorbitant amounts. Somebody says, reduce your ridiculous bride price and life will be easier. That is true as well. I mean, again, you don't want anybody telling you, oh, I paid for your bride price, so you should do this. You can't bring that to certain women because that would just not be acceptable and there will be a fight. So guys, what do you think? Please put your comments in the comment section below and do not forget to like and subscribe.